Hello, Simmerstorians. I am here with my tea, and after about 24 hours of us just hyping in the Discord about this new pack, which I think is probably the first time that myself and a lot of other historical Simmers have been so excited for a Sims expansion pack. So I thought I would take you through the trailer as a historian, as a Simmerstorian, and share my thoughts, share my ideas about how this can actually change our gameplay for the better finally. So without further ado, let's get going. Oh my goodness. Okay, a few things already. One, I really hope that there are actually birds we can interact with. Like, I really do miss the birds from The Sims 3, and especially I hope that at least we can feed the birds. We'll see more birds around town. These are like different types of birds too, so it would just be so cool if we actually had that. Second of all, what I'm really excited about in this frame are these stone walls. So I'm not totally sure these walls are going to be in game or if they're going to be like debug items, but I love these stone fence walls. Especially what I really love are the fact that you can see here and here we have some parts of the walls crumbling. This just reminds me of back when I lived in London and I've traveled to Scotland and Ireland, when you're driving through all of these little countryside roads and you see just these super old, very, very old stone walls, and some parts of them are crumbling, some are still together, and they just divide up the country. And so I would, oh my god, I'm so excited about these walls. I know that's a little silly, but it's how I am, okay? And yeah, I think this trailer is really cute. I love the bunnies. I really kind of like how they bring you through the entire trailer through this bunny. Okay, hang on, slow down. There's so much to talk about. Do you see? This is a ruin. I I hope this is a place we can actually visit. But if you look here, like this is a ruin. These walls are a little bit broken down. I really am wondering if these are going to be like some debug items, which would be really cool. And look, some of the ruins continue over here, but this would be really cool for making these beautiful historical sites, old style, like bombed castles, and just dilapidated castles like the ones we see in Ireland all over the northern coast. I I love that. I love that so much. I always love to see more of these dangly lights. I know they're not proper Victorian as how I play, but I still love them. And then what I'm really excited about is this pinafore. So, Sims 4 modders, if you hear me, please turn this pinafore into a longer dress that I can use for my teenagers. And maybe, like, also, I really, really hope that this pinafore can be used for children as well. Because, as you know, if you've seen my Sims 2 historical challenge series, I use pinafores for a lot of my children and teens in the 19th century, and I love it. I love it so much. Please, more pinafores. More pinafores. Okay, moving on. Gosh, I still can't get over this ruin because I was talking in the Discord and I was like, you know what I really want? I really want some old historical sites, maybe some like historical collectibles, kind of like The Sims 3, and I feel like I actually might have gotten it, and I didn't expect that at all. And oh, guys, this the roof. The roof! Oh my god, there are little animals on the roof. Oh my god, I just. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's all good. One moment. Okay, I need to calm down. All right. I love I love everything about this architecture. I love these like hooded dormers and the patterns on the top. I really want to know what those are. Are those like architectural additions that you can do, or is this like a new style of roof? It looks like thatched roofs, which I have so many modded thatched roofs for The Sims 2, and I just never expected they would come to The Sims 4, and I'm just, it's green thatch. And more window boxes, which I love, and oh my god, look, it's a little topiary llama statue. I don't actually know if we have that in the current game, but I I'm gonna have to completely rebuild my Sims 4 Victorian Legacy house so that it's like thatched roof, cottage style. We're gonna straight up move it to this town. I'm so excited. And look, there's more water, and ooh, those were willow trees. Oh, Mrs. Crumplebottom, a classic. And look at them. They're using terrain tools and building a house. I'm so proud of EA. I don't think I've ever seen them use terrain tools in like a base house. So that's really, really exciting. So I have a lot of questions about this gardening. So it looks like you can see rows. So I'm kind of thinking like the Plum Bob Keep mods for The Sims 2, a lot of their industrial style plants, they are growing in these rows and you just place down the rows. And so I'm kind of wondering if that's what's going to happen here. It would require a lot less watering than if you would, plant things all individually. So I'm curious to see if how exactly this happens in the game. It doesn't look like this is like large style grain farming, and I kind of figured we weren't going to get that in The Sims 4 because that would require a lot of equipment they would have to make, a lot of farm equipment they would have to research and create and animate. And so I think what's going to happen is we're just going to get these more industrial style plants, and maybe some new plants like pumpkins and eggplants and stuff like that too. But overall, I'm excited. I'm thinking, at first I was kind of like, is this just like a Furminator style comb? Are they just combing the llama? But I'm pretty sure this is shearing. I really do hope that some modders can create like the historical shears that aren't these like electric shears, And so they're kind of like more scissor shears. I think that would be really cool. What I really want to know is, are we shearing these llamas specifically for their health, keeping them cool in the summer and like unmatted, or do we get anything from shearing these? So what I would really, really, really love to see is wool that comes from these llamas that we can then turn into like spun wool and yarn, and that could be used with the knitting pack. I think that would be so fun. I don't think The Sims 4 is going to do that. They're not really into these kind of like long process chains, like The Sims 2 style Plump Up Keep stuff. But I think it would be really cool. I'm just skeptical, but it's a cute animation. I love the ornery little guy. And oh, is that fertilizer? That's cool. Okay, I'm so excited about the embroidery cross stitching thing happening here. Okay, so excited. Oh, look at this little basket. That's cute. And you get another little box of the embroidery stuff. I'm wondering if this box of embroidery stuff is going to function like the knitting, where you have to keep it in their inventory. And I don't really like that very much because I, as person who yarn, who as a person who knits, yarn ends up all over my apartment because my cats just drag it around crazy. So wouldn't it be adorable if you have to keep all your spools of yarn and knitwork and stuff out, and your little kitten can get into it and just play with it and throw it around the apartment and tangle it around everything, and the bunny, oh my god, I'm fine. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I do think the cross stitching and the embroidery should have come with the nifty knitting pack. Maybe that's a hot take, but I don't think it is. I feel like that was something they had created alongside the nifty knitting stuff, and then they were like, "No, we'll put that in a later pack." But I do think you know what I think. Okay, we'll move on. But I do think that will change the way that my Sims play in The Sims 4, in my historical series, just because it's like there's nothing to do and knitting is fun, but this feels more historical. What I also really hope in this scene is that there are some consequences and repercussions. I sincerely doubt that there will be because this is The Sims 4 and The Sims 4 is very tame. But I would love for these foxes and predators to be able to like get to your animals just because it's so realistic. And like the Plum Bob Keep with their new Barnyard Bash coalition of mods, they have created consequences where animals, like dogs and cats and other wild animals, can attack and kill like your ducks and your chickens. And I think that's really historical, but even though they say this is rated teen, this game is very G-rated in my opinion. And so I don't think we're going to be seeing more consequences there. I love the pumpkins. They remind me of the pumpkins in The Sims 2, The Sims 3. Okay, so I have some questions about the chickens and the cows. So it does look like the chickens, you can at least have eggs that hatch into other chicks. I don't really know anything about life stages when it comes to this pack. So, like, we haven't seen any calves. We haven't seen any like mid-stage chicks to chickens, so we don't really know if they age. What if the chicks just stay chicks their entire life? What is their life stage? Do they have life stage? Do they have life stages? Do the cows just die when they reach a certain age? And yeah, I don't really know. We can see that there is a milking interaction with the cow, but what we don't know is what we can do with that milk. So, what I'm guessing is that the eggs and the milk can be used in the fridge, maybe can be used in other recipes. But what I would really, really love to see is the milk turned into cheese or turned into butter. I really don't think we're going to get that from this pack or any future packs from EA, but what I do expect is that fantastic modders will rise to the occasion and they will create cheeses and butter and maybe, I don't know, alter some of these things to be a little bit more fun, be a little bit more invested in like process chains and stuff. And gosh, I really look, she's using an egg. I wonder if that's an egg from the garden. I really do love that we have like baking and cooking and a lot of these just like really small, enjoyable family moments. Like, a lot of us have been complaining because there just hasn't been much like family gameplay. And I feel like we're finally starting to get it. There's family cooking together instead of what, like, I think classic EA would do, which is create a gigantic cupcake machine style easy bake oven for kids. So I feel like they're actually kind of listening to us and our wants here, which makes me really, really happy. I love the return of the picnic basket. I do wish we could use it on the ground and just like a little blanket, but I don't know. I don't know. What I'm guessing it is just like a cooler that you can keep things in. But you never know. I mean, they might pull through for us. And here, oh gosh, I love everything about this. This feels really, I love these little windows here. These are so quintessential English, remind me of little tea houses in Cambridge, but they also remind me of little row homes in Baltimore where I'm at. And then this looks like a pub. Oh, it's so, so cute. I love everything about this. And look, there's a pub. I was just talking on the Discord about how much I wanted a pub in this game, but I wasn't sure that they would actually give us a pub. Oh, that kind of looks like new hair for him too. That's really pretty. So these kind of look like Yorkshire puddings. This looks a little bit like bangers and mash. And then maybe just like a little meat pie or something. And I don't know, that makes me really happy. I'm really hoping for some new proper English style foods. I would really love some biscuits, crumpets, scones, but you know, we take what we get. I'm kind of hoping they're going to pull through for us, and maybe we'll have some scones and crumpets in in like the added baking animations, like with kids. Like, imagine making scones with your kids in the 19th century. That would just be so, so cute. And also, one more thing, I would love, if there are any modders out there, for you to take this adorable collar and slap it on some Victorian and Edwardian style clothing. That would just bring me so much joy. I love all these little kiosks and like produce stands. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of The Sims 3. So I think one of my favorite packs for The Sims 4 actually has been City Living, because you get like the little town festivals, and I wish we had them for every neighborhood. Honestly, that would just be like the icing on the cake for me. But it reminds me so much of The Sims 3 with seasons, when we started having festivals in the town squares. And I really love that because it kind of creates like a central unity for any town. And so this feels super reminiscent of that, and I love it for that. I love the watermelons and the eggplants, and is that a carrot? I think that's a carrot. And it's cute. I love the competition because I'm a competitive person. I do wonder if this girl's animations with like the chickens and the birds are just completely rendered and not actually like real animations that we have in the game, because I don't think that The Sims would create those kinds of repercussions, but I love it. So there's a couple things here. I'm surprised that I'm not seeing a bunch of people like talking about this scene right here, but this brings me so much joy. It looks like we've got a house here, a house here, and a house back there. And this is the backside of that ruin that I was really excited about, I think, unless this is a different one, but it looks kind of the same. This is really cool. It reminds me of like Ireland with all those beautiful ruins and stuff. And I'm really, really hoping that we can actually like visit it and it's not just like, on this island that we are incapable of visiting and seeing. And I'm feeling like we might be able to use it given like look at all of these trees and the water, and we've got a bunch of houses over here, so maybe this is part of this house's little like subhood. And then I have a lot of questions about what's happening over here. This kind of looks, it reminds me of Stonehenge a little bit, maybe some sort of like fairy circle. Do we have a fairy circle here? I'm interested. I'm very interested. Although, let's be real, I feel like if EA were going to give us fairies, and that is a fairy circle, they would totally boast about it in this pack. So, I saw nothing else that suggested fairies, but I have some questions here. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that's a fairy circle, or is this some sort of like historical monument, maybe kind of like Stonehenge style? I'm really curious. Overall, I'm really happy. Like, I love that you can customize your animals, and you can have like a rainbow cow. Ooh, I would totally get that bicycle. And I love that tree. If someone wants to convert that tree to The Sims 2, I would have so many weddings under it. So let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm actually really excited. I think there's a bunch of new prospects here. We've got a lot of great new build and buy mode. We've actually got a lot of gameplay. And we've got some maybe new cooking items and a new beautiful, beautiful town. I think this is going to be perfect for historical gameplay. I don't think I'm going to have to alter a lot of these places very much to actually fit in with my 19th century style. Let me know in the comments below, like, what kind of era you like to play in The Sims 4, and if you think that this would work for you. What are your concerns? Do you think that was a fairy circle or a fairy ring? I have no idea, and I'm so excited to find out. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.